Wadō-ryū is a karate style. 3 organizations now teach the Wadō-ryū style: the Japan Karate-dō Federation Wadōkai, the Wadōryū Karatedō Renmei, and the Wadō Kokusai Karatedō Renmei. Characteristics. Philosophy. The name Wadō-ryū has 3 parts: Wadō and Yu. Wa means harmony, Da means way, and Yu means school or style. Harmony should not be interpreted as pacifism. It is simply the acknowledgement that yielding is sometimes more effective than brute strength. From one point of view, Wadō-ryū might be considered a style of jujutsu rather than karate. It should be noted that Hironori Otsuka embraced Shotokan and was its chief instructor for a time. When Otsuka first registered his school with the Dai Nippon Butokukai in 1938, the style was called Shinshu Wadōryū Karate Jujutsu, a name that reflects its hybrid character. Otsuka was a licensed Shindo Yoshinryu practitioner and a student of Yoshinryu when he first met the Okinawan karate master Gichin Funakoshi. After having learned from Funakoshi, and after the split with Okinawan masters such as Kenwa Mabuni and Motobu Choki, Otsuka merged Shindo Yoshinryu with Okinawan karate. The result of Otsuka's efforts is Wadōryū Karate. To the untrained observer, Wadō-ryū might look similar to other styles of karate, such as Shotokan. Most of the underlying principles, however, were derived from Shindo Yoshinryu and Utami Wazē-focused style of jujutsu. A block in Wadō may look much like a block in Shotokan, but they are executed from different perspectives. A key principle in Wadō-ryū is that of isabaki. The Japanese term can be translated as body management, and refers to body manipulation so as to move the defender as well as the attacker out of harm's way. The way to achieve this is to move along rather than to move against, or harmony rather than physical strength. Modern karate competition tends to transform Wadō-ryū away from its roots towards a new generic karate that appeals more to the demands of both spectators and competitors. As with other styles of karate, Wadō-ryū techniques move from the heels of the feet, but differ in that many progress to incorporate pushing off the ball of the foot as well. This affects the delivery of a number of techniques, particularly adding reach to punches with the backhand, given the extra hip movement afforded utilizing the balls of the feet in this fashion, while the core principles of turning on the heel remain in Wadō, as it is the fastest way to push the hips in the direction of attack. The progression to the ball of the foot is a hallmark of the style. It is important to remember that this in no way makes it superior or inferior as a system in comparison to other styles. It is simply another way of thinking that has both merit and drawbacks. It works well with the jujutsu applications that Wadō retains and improves the taisabaki that is a core of Wadō training and application in comparison to the low stances and long attacks. Linear chain techniques that typify the way Shotokan developed after the split ranks Wadō-ryū uses a typical karate belt order to denote rank. The beginner commences at 9th or 10th kyu and progresses to 1st kyu, then from 1st 5th dan for technical grades. The ranks of 6th 10th dan are honorary ranks, although some other karate styles add stripes to the belt for the dan ranks. Wadō-ryū practitioners tend not to follow that practice. The rank at which Wadō practitioners are first able to teach is usually 3rd dan, but this depends on the organization. Some Wadō-ryū organizations require completion of a special course in addition to attaining a certain dan rank. Schools that use the same belt color for multiple kyu ranks typically, although not necessarily, use stripes to indicate progress within that belt color. Kata are predefined, specific patterns of movement that incorporate and encapsulate martial techniques, concepts, and applications. The exact movements of a kata often vary from one organization to another, and even from one school to another within the same organization. The variations can range from gross deviations apparent to the untrained observer to very subtle minutiae. In his 1977 book on Wadō-ryū, Otsuka declared only 9 official kata for Wadō-ryū: Pinnan Nidden, Pinnan Shoden, Pinnan Sanden, Pinnan Yoden, Pinnan Goden, Kushankus Naihanchi, Seishin and Shinto. Within his text, Otsuka provides detailed notes on the performance of these kata, which has resulted in less deviation across organizations on the performance. However, Otsuka did teach other kata, perhaps because Otsuka did not provide specific notes for the performance of these other kata in his text. There is greater variation in these other kata across organizations and schools. Kata associated with Wadō-ryū include Ten-no basic drills first invented by Jigo Funakoshi. Taikyoku series, developed by Gichin Funakoshi as a preliminary exercise before the Pinnan series. Many Wadō-ryū schools teach these basic kata, particularly Taikyoku Shoden. Pinnan kata, created by Anko Itazu, and consisting of Pinnan Shoden, Pinnan Nidden, Pinnan Sanden, Pinnan Yoden, and Pinnan Goden. Funakoshi renamed this series as the Air-an series. Kushanku's sky viewing. Kushanku was the Okinawa name for Guangshangfu of Saposhi-sen to Okinawa in the 18th century. This kata uses stances and attacks consisting of the 5 previous Pinnan kata. No new techniques are introduced. Funakoshi renamed this kata as Kankudai Naihanchi. This was the original name for the 3 teki kata, but was changed by Funakoshi. This is a lateral kata learned from Chokimoto-bu. Wadō-ryū practices only the first Naihanchi kata. Seishin, the name means 13 hands. Quote, this kata was named after a well-known Chinese martial artist who lived in and near Shuri c. 1700. The movements are repeated in sets of 3, and has pivots and turning of the head. Funakoshi renamed this kata as Hangitsu Shinto, formulated by Matsumura Soken from the teachings of a sailor pirate named Shinto. Crane's dance occurs many times, and the flying kicks differentiate Shinto from other kata. Funakoshi renamed this kata as Gankaku Basai, a Tomarite kata that uses dynamic stances and hip rotation. Funakoshi renamed this kata as Basai Dai. Roai. Roai has 3 variation invented by Itazu. Wadō-ryū practices Roai Shoden. Funakoshi renamed this kata as Meikyo Nizushi. The name means 24 steps. Transmitted by Ankichi Aragaki, this kata is known in Japanese as Nijushiho Wantsu. The name means flying swallow. This is a Tomarite kata based on movements brought to Okinawa in 1683 by a Chinese envoy of the same name. The metaphorical name, flying swallows, comes from the soft blocking sequences near the end of this kata. Funakoshi renamed this kata as Empi Jion, a Tomarite kata, part of the Jion kata group. Jita, another Tomarite kata of the Jion kata group. The name means 10 hands. Suparenpei, known as 108 hands, representing the 108 evil spirits of man. This kata is also said to have represented a band of 108 warriors that traveled the Chinese countryside in the 17th century, performing Robin Hood-type tasks of doing good deeds, giving to the poor, and so on. It is also known by its Chinese name of Peichuran, and occasionally referred to as Haiku Hachiho. Suparenpei was originally listed as a Wadōryū kata with the Dai Nippon Butokukai by Hironori Otsuka, but he eventually discarded it. Some Wadōryū instructors and schools still teach this kata. Kunpo and Amp UNSU. In addition to the solo kata listed above, many Wadōryū schools also practice paired kata, which reflects its jujutsu heritage. These paired kata are performed by two people, demonstrating a range of self-defense techniques. The paired kata of Wadōryū often vary from one organization from another, because Otsuka did not standardize them. The paired kata, Jakusoku Kifon Kumite, consists of 10 fundamental techniques of attack against combination attacks, influenced by jujutsu body movements. Kumite kata consists of 10 to 24 varietal techniques of attack emphasizing katami and kuzushi and multiple strikes. Oi Kumite consists of various techniques of attack incorporating karate blocks, kicks and strikes with jujutsu throws and body movements. This is a specialty of Tatsuo Suzuki Hanshi's WIKF organization. Idori no kata consists of 5 to 10 techniques of seated self-defense, influenced by jujutsu throwing and joint locking techniques. Tantadori no kata consists of 7 to 10 techniques of defenses against knife attacks, influenced by jujutsu body movements, throwing and joint locking techniques. Shinken Shirihadori consists of 5 to 10 techniques of defenses against sword attacks, influenced by jujutsu body movements, throwing and joint locking techniques. In addition to the 3 paired kata above, there are also Gakunaji kata, Joshi Goshinjutsu, Kodokan Goshinjutsu and Amp, some others, but they are not commonly taught. History. The founder of Wadōryū, Hironori Otsuka, was born on 1 June 1892 in Shimodate, Ibaraki Prefecture, Japan. In 1898, Otsuka began practicing Koryu-jutsu under Chojiro Ibashi. From 1905 to 1921, he studied Shindo Yoshin Yujutsu under Tatsusaburo Nakayama. In 1922, he met Gichin Funakoshi and began to train under him. In 1924, Otsuka became one of the first students promoted to black belt in karate by Funakoshi. To broaden his knowledge of karate, Otsuka also studied with other prominent masters such as Kenwa Mabuni of Shituyu and Moto Buchoki. In 1929, Otsuka organized the first school karate club at Tokyo University. Eiichi Eriguchi coined the term Wadōryū in 1934. In 1938, Otsuka registered his style of karate with the Dai Nippon Butokukai under the name of Shinshu Wadōryū Karatedō. Soon after, however, this was shortened to Wadōryū. In 1938, the Dai Nippon Butokukai awarded Otsuka the rank of Renshigo, followed in 1942 by the rank of Kyoshigo. It was around this time that Tatsuo Suzuki, founder of the WIKF, began training in Wadōryū. In 1944, Otsuka was appointed Japan's chief karate instructor. In 1946, Otsuka awarded Tatsuo Suzuki the rank of second dan. Around 1950, Jiro Otsuka began training in Wadō-ryū while in his adolescent years. In 1951, Otsuka awarded Tatsuo Suzuki the rank of fifth dan, the highest rank awarded in Wadō-ryū at the time. In 1952, the Wadō-ryū headquarters was established at the Meiji University Dojo in Tokyo. In 1954, its name was changed as Nippon Karate Renmei. In 1955, Otsuka published Karatejutsu no Kankyu, a book expounding his style of karate. In 1963, he dispatched Suzuki, along with Toru Akawa and Hajime Takashima, to spread Wadō-ryū around the world. In 1964, the Japan Karate-dō Federation was established as a general organization for all karate styles. Wadō-ryū joined this organization as a major group. In 1965, Otsuka and Yoshiaki Ihari recorded onto film much of the legacy of Wadōryū Karate. The first video, Wadōryū Karate Volume 1, consists of in-depth history and recollections, demonstrations of the 8 Kihon no Suki body shifts, the first 5 Kihon Kumite, and the Kata Pinan 1 to 5, Kushanku's Jion, Nihonchi, and Seishin. The second video, Wadōryū Karate Volume 2, consists of more history, the Kata Shinto, Dishishiro Ijoantsu, and Jita, as well as Kihon Kumite 6 to 10, along with application. In 1966, Otsuka was awarded Kungoto Suko Kyoka Jujutsu by Emperor Hirohito for his dedication to the introduction and teaching of karate. On the 5th of June 1967, the Wadō-ryū organization changed its name to Wadōkai. In 1972, the president of Kokusai Karatedō Renmei, a member of the Japanese royal family, awarded Otsuka the title of Meijin. In 1975, Suzuki received his 8th dan, the highest grade ever given by the Federation of all Japan Karate-do organizations, and was named Hanshigo by the uncle of Emperor Higashikuni. In 1980, as the result of a conflict between Otsuka and the Wadōkai organization, he stepped down as head of the Wadōkai. Eiichi Eraguchi took over his place within that organization. On the 1st of April 1981, Otsuka founded the Wadōryū Karatedō Renmei. After only a few months, he retired as head of this organization. His son, Jiro Otsuka, took his place. On the 29th of January 1982, Hironori Otsuka died, and in 1983, Jiro Otsuka succeeded him as Grand Master of Wadō-ryū. The younger Otsuka changed his name to Hironori Otsuka II in honor of his late father. In 1989, Tatsuo Suzuki founded the third major Wadō-ryū organization, Wadō Kokusai. Wadō-ryū outside Japan. Wadō-ryū has been spread to many countries in the world by both Japanese and non-Japanese students of Hironori Otsuka. Japanese Wadō-ryū stylists Tatsuo Suzuki, Teruo Kono, Masafumi Shiomitsu, H. Takashima, Naoki Ishikawa, Yoshihiko Iwasaki, Kuniaki Sakagami, and many others spread the art in Europe. Yoshiaki Ihari, Masaru Shintani and Isaac Henry Jr. spread the art in the United States and Canada. Joachim Goncalves and many others have helped to spread the style in the respective countries. In 1968, Otsuka promoted Cecil T. Patterson of the United States to 5th dan and charged him with the creation of the United States Eastern Wadōkai Federation. Following the split between Otsuka and the Wadōkai in 1980, Patterson and the USEWF remained with Otsuka. Following Patterson's death in 2002, his son John T. Patterson assumed the presidency of the USEWF. Patterson's organization continues as an active member of the Wadōryū Karatedō Renmei. In the UK, Wadōryū has been cited as a key influence in the development of the hybrid martial arts and judo.